Thank you very much once more. The panel discussion on electric vehicles. It is our future, really. And a great respect. I very appreciate you have come to organize this panel discussions, Volodymyr. Thank you very much. And now our panel discussion will be also with the participants of our cluster. And I invite to the floor Oleksandr Ratkevych, Managing Director of Bosch, Ukraine, Vira Redkovych from Kromberg and Schubert, Volodymyr Lempert will join us online, and I see that he's waiting. Thank you very much, Volodymyr, for your time. And Andriy Zagurskyy, Tribo company. So in this panel discussion, I want the respected companies and all of your companies, each Bosch and Kromberg are one of the first ones who came to Ukraine and have certain thousands of workers. But I'm also happy that Ukrainian companies joined us as well. In the panel discussion, we have two global, the most known companies, Bosch, Kromberg and Schubert, and Tribo for producing the fitting. And these companies have even more than 30 years of operations. I would like to raise a couple of questions to hear your answer to those questions. The first question will be how the war changed the understanding on risks and opportunities for your business. I would like to hear your story, for you to share your story of resilience and to tell us about it, how it happened with you. Who will be the first to answer, please? Okay, let you, please. Thank you. So, welcome. I'm Oleksandr Ratkevych, the director of the company Robert Bosch Production, Ukraine. That's my company. Last year, I was missing, and in 1 year, your title has changed. It didn't change, but anyway, a couple of words about our company. Our company is in Ratkevych, near the border. If you travel in there, just 1 kilometer from customs is our company. We are a part of Bosch Group. We are working more than 20 years in Ukraine. Right now, is our only specialization is regeneration of starters for internal combustion engines. We do manufacture over 300,000 units a year for over 700 models. Our main market is EU countries, partially North America. We cover just 1/3 of this market in European Union. That's a couple of words about the company. I'm talking about our resilience, about our experience of pre-war, before the full-scale invasion. We haven't stopped our work. We had to stop. We are a part of global corporation which has some protocols to. There was a protocol of suspension. So, beginning from the connection to corporate information network and finishing with the total suspension of production. During the first day, we were not able even to physically travel to the plant. There have been many thousands of cars on the border. But we have saw that our investor, how said it would be, uh, they didn't want it to reopen, to relaunch the company. So we paid salary a few months ahead. We had certain exclusions, exceptions in Bosch to support our company. But we understand that exceptions in the business are exceptions. And so one beautiful day there could be an end to the company. The most important challenge we coped, we managed to convince our main investor, having over 400,000 workers in the world, to convince them that we are committed to be able to work continuously with no stops. And we shall set up our processes sufficiently so the company would operate, would function. And we stuck to our word. Moreover, in 22, the volumes of our production, of our products, were higher than in the previous year. That is a couple of words about our experience. Thank you. You want to give the floor to the next speaker? And good evening. My name is Vira. I do represent Kromberg Schubert. Little bit about our plant. Our plant is 100 years old, and it was producing telephone cabling. Then we started to work in the car industry. There have been two founders, Kromberg and Schubert. They began to produce cable networks for cars, for vehicles. There's about 40 plants, Kromberg and Schubert, all over the world. In Ukraine, there are two plants in Zhytomyr and in Lviv. Our plant exists, our production exists for 20 years, is the largest one. We have 5,000 workers, and basically, we're already 20 years in the market. What is about our resilience story? When the war began and nobody knew what will happen, for 1 week everybody stayed at home, but in 1 month all the managers, all the workers went to the work, and the cohesion helped us to stand up in such difficult times. And due to that, the customer believed in us, they helped us. During the blackouts, they bought a generator for us. When there were problems with the border jams with the cars, we transported our products by train. What else can I also can say that 2 years in a row, Lutsk plant is the production of the year. We show the best indicators, financial and quality indicators. It is also very important in such times. What is not breaking us makes us stronger. That is the principle of all Ukrainians and of all those enterprises that are now found experiencing such difficult times. We continue to work, and we do believe in the future, in the support also. Really, there have been long discussions about it, saying that the customer always have backup other factories, our manufacturers. In case something happens with us, they might switch to others. But good things, everything is good. We are working to full capacities, and we hope to support new projects and to bring to pay taxes in our state and accordingly as a salary to our people. Thank you very much. Really, I had an opportunity in September to visit you in Lutsk, and I'm happy, very happy that you invited me to conduct a training for you. And also, I hope that everything will be good. I just about the training. Yes, we found a trainer in Ukraine who is really may explain such a boring topic on automotive industry in a very interesting way. 30% of theory, 70% of practice. People from other departments participated and they said, wow, after the training, really, we shared this information with other colleagues. So next year you will get orders for more trainings. Thank you. Thank you. Everything for you. Andriy, share with your resilience story. Yeah, good evening. I'm Andriy, commercial director of Tribo factory. We do produce these braking pads for all types of transport. Today we have seen the presentation from Lviv about the comprehensive system of public transport. We are also participating in that system. All the public transport system in Lviv uses the braking pads produced in Bila Tserkva, same as other cities of Ukraine and other 25 countries of the world where to we do export our products. Talking about the risks we faced in the beginning of the war, when I was understanding beginning in 22, I, I the risk and the threat, I already had to assess what is waiting for us. And there were very negative forecasts. We might lose about 60% of our market. Frankly speaking, we should relocate. We should close that 45 years old enterprise. But we lost not 60%, we lost 70% of our markets. We were very strong in Belarus. We lost Middle Asia, Central Asia, almost as twice. And within these 3 years, we recovered our pre-war sales volumes. We have achieved entered new markets of Europe, Germany, Bulgaria, Romania, Poland. We have entered Northern Africa. So I will wrap up with the words of a non-person. Not everybody can look into tomorrow. You have to act today, and our today's decisions are making our future. You have to act today. Thank you, Andrei. By the way, I want to say that thanks to the IOM program, support of IOM, we'll have a stand on International Mobility Days this week in Wien and in December on auto mechanics, where, by the way, Andrei will join. And so we will represent Ukrainian automotive industry and we'll move ahead. Thank you. Volodymyr Lempert, I know you are with us. Yes, I welcome you. Just a minute. We are not yet seeing you. Now, yes. Could you please tell your resilience story? I know that you even haven't stopped in February 22. Is it true? Yes, there have been 2 days when we were shipping the products. There was a break in the work of 2 days only. And then there have been very hard negotiations with our due to the high risks about the products imported from Ukraine. we didn't retain a part of project, but some other part still was remained in Ukraine. So we created a production park in the territory of other state, of the neighboring state. Thank you. Could you tell a little bit about your resilience story? What helped you to survive? First of all, it is the trust of our partners. And for the second, in intensive work, we do work for many years with our clients, with our buyers. We have good relationships with them, and we produce very high quality product. So they weren't able to find a quick replacement. So such a solidarity between us and our suppliers was. Also, we were lucky that they had no such a quick alternative. And then, in June, the flow of finished products became to be more stable, but we are not receiving new projects. We are working on those who will remain in at that time. So it thank you very much. I would like to put this question to our foreign colleagues. Today, in the beginning of our forum, they told us that the shipment from Ukraine to German car industry is increasing. Want to ask you, do you have the same feeling? And whether do you have new projects and new customers in car industry, automotive industry? Maybe let's start with you. Thank you. As of now, talking about regeneration of startups, there is a growing demand. Our quality of our products is rather high. We are the only company specialized on this, and and also we are the only company of Bosch in Ukraine. Although there have been efforts before COVID, before the war, there were searches of possibilities to build up a plant, a factory. By now, the investor sees its risks. First of all, related to the war. Before COVID, before full-scale invasion, there was a project on expansion of our plant because we have relevant possibilities. The area allows for that. There was a project for generation of air conditioners for the vehicles, but due to COVID and war, situation changed, and the investor currently has some reluctance regarding implementation of new projects. I have to say that Bosch should be said that it was from the beginning of the war. In a very short period, they have closed 7 manufacturing sites in Russia. They had rather diverse production. They had domestic appliances, thermal equipment, and automates. Uh, Due to the war and restriction of our capacities, these facilities have migrated to other countries of Europe and Asia. Talking specifically about our investor, we all are waiting for the war to be over. We're waiting for our victory. Thank you. What about you, Vira? Our situation is eventually better. All the production facilities are loaded now, occupied. We had 3 launches of new projects during the wartime. We have customers both in Germany and in UK, and we have the only project BMW. But our colleagues from Zhytomyr also had BMW, but last minute they were afraid and they went to Serbia, other companies. It's a pity we are losing this opportunity to provide jobs to our people in Ukraine and to give them a possibility to earn. So Lutsk, I believe, meanwhile is in a good situation. 5,000 persons have jobs, are engaged. Talking about the future, in 2 years, we have to know 2 years before about the project we are nominated for to start producing some prototypes, but up to now we have new projects in the future. But we are waiting to the end of the year. Eventually we'll have something. Andrei, what news do you have with Automotive? Talking about Germany, you asked about Germany exactly, and do you have a rather interesting case? More in spite of and not for the sake of this, you're a company from our industry, a large manufacturer of friction device in Germany, asked us for help. The equipment was broken and they had to repair it for a long time to pay for it all the time. And their contracts were threatened. We knew it not from them, but from somebody else. And we have additional capacity. So they applied to us for cooperate. Let us cooperate. And everything started from audits. We know that they have real problems. We had 2 weeks of online audit. We pass them and we tell them we want to help you. We don't see business there. We want to be grateful to the German people they are providing to us. So after passage of all these audits, after that we have got an audit opinion, conclusion, some more meetings, and we understand they are losing all the contracts and they are keep silence for a couple of months. They sent us all the raw materials for the survey, meaning they have solved their problems. According to the contracts, before the shipment, we have to also send them the samples, and there should be about 2 months of time before final confirmation of the order to check everything. And then 2 weeks ago, there was a call from Germany, please send us this batch urgently. But we have to follow a protocol. We have 3 pages of risks. No, we need it urgently. Okay, we can do it urgently. So this is one of our first shipment to the large German manufacturer of friction devices, our competitor. And it proves to our flexibility, our resilience. It doesn't matter the blackouts, those sleepless nights all over the country. We can compete and we can be useful also for a European customer. Super, thank you. Yes, and we really can do it. Volodymyr, can you tell what plans do you have for automotive and new projects if you have ones? Unfortunately, right now we have to produce the die cast first for to fund to produce plastic mold. First, we have to produce the dies, and I cannot say now that we have new projects by now. We are working with other companies, and thanks to that, we have large experience on the processing of different materials. We may work only with those materials which are fitting our assortment, our current products. Also, we are helping with that. We develop using the drawings and the layout. We develop the models for the countries which don't have such an experience. That's how we work now. May not say that we are loaded by 100%, but we do work anyway. Thank you. Also should be added that we are a private Ukrainian company. Unfortunately, we had no assistance from foreign companies. We were relying on our own forces only. So to wrap up, I have a question now. How do you believe what will be not just your resilience story, what will be a basement for further growth? Maybe not a growth, but for the perspective which you do see eventually after the war is over. What could give you such something for the future? What will be your basement? What lessons you take with you? I see an impact of some companies, and our company being a supplier. We see new projects which are now beginning and developing in Ukraine. And our experience, our help to these new companies which are appearing is needed. I believe now it is the time of localization of suppliers, localization of reduction of supply changes to make them shorter and replacement both in Europe and in Ukraine. I believe it is the main vector to be moving along, meaning localization and replacement of import. Own developments, Ukrainian developments. It is an interesting areas of development. Thank you. Really, now the restructurization of all the automotive market in Europe is ongoing, and eventually in the future, exactly our countries, I do mean, how to say it correctly, of the southeastern regions of Europe will be more industrial, more automotive. This fact of nearshoring and the reduction, the shortage, shrinking of supply chain. Thank you very much, Volodymyr. What are your expectations, your lessons? What do you do see for the future? As regards expectations, I will tell from the corporate point of view of Bosch. One of other reasons we have no good project Bosch is a company which missed the threat, haven't seen the threat from China of cheaper cars, cheaper components. Quality is another topic to discuss, but there is the fact that practically all the auto manufacturers in Europe are loaded in best case by 70% only. Bosch is not an exception. Few months ago, they announced cutting about 9,000 workers, and more workers are to be cut this year on the automotive plants. And such movements do inspire hope here in Ukraine for us that after our victory, after the war is over, these volumes and these resources will be transferred to us in one or other type. There are some predispositions for that. Our country is attractive. People are attractive when talking about such agile trends, flexibility. I believe we can impart trainings how to be agile, how to instantaneously adapt, and how to diversify. So I personally have very positive expectations for the nearest future. Thank you very much. Our basement, our advantage, our force and experience acquired during this hard time, I believe this tempering we have passed through now makes us ready for new challenge. So we can even act without external assistance. We provide a lot of support to other factories. And the expectations not only of Ukraine, but also of our customer. As soon as it is all over, I believe they will be not less happy than us, because they do see in Ukraine some perspective. And they are talking about that. And they accordingly do wait when we will be able to develop our projects in full force. Difficult to predict now, to forecast about the future, but we generally hope everything will be Ukraine. Yeah, everything will be Ukraine. Thank you, Andrei. I do support the trend of our what Volodymyr Ilyich said in his expectations. Recently, I heard a new term, China free product, meaning not in automotive yet, but I hope it will be in automotive as well. And I believe Bosch and other manufacturers do already understand it clearly. And here we are ready. We may be competitive on the price, competitive on technologies as well. So please come to us to Belocerco with your orders. Belocerco is ready. As regards expectations for the future, I will tell you a brief joke. Somebody comes to be interviewed for employment in an international company. He's an experienced person, and he's asking a popular question. What are your strong parts? He says insistence. Okay, there was a brief interview, and then he has a classic answer. We'll call you in a couple of days. And he answers, I will wait for you here. So we'll wait for you here. Our strong advantage is insistency and striving for a better future, and we'll cope. We'll succeed in everything. Very good. We thank our panelists. I do understand the time. The time of our dinner is approaching, so let's applaud you for your positive, for you being working. I do completely agree with you. Thank you. We'll wait here. I do agree with you. I want to share own impressions on the resilience of Tribo and of the team, especially of Andriy. Recently, there was a rally, a charity rally to support titanium production. I was coming nearly, and in the night previous, there was shelling 300 meters near the company. And I am asking, what kind of shelling? What shelling? We have to run. We have a rally now. They are really waiting and they need help. This is a real resistance. Very cool. I do understand that the whole Ukraine is waiting, investors is waiting for the rhetorics of our country to be also an industrial country. As a matter of fact, our cluster does everything possible so that the rhetorics in Ukraine was in the senses of automotive and mobility. But we are not found in Lviv, so we mm, should give the floor to our to those who are representatives of this oblast. So I invite to the stage the organization Lviv Invest, and please, you have the floor. Thank you. I'm happy to be here. Good evening, everybody. Such a quiet atmosphere is here. We will now switch to the dinner, so I will short as brief. I will be as brief as possible. I am Oleg Veklum. I am the Deputy Director of the Department for Investment and Projects of the Lviv City Council. Our department is responsible for engaging foreign investors into the Lviv community. And basically, it's my pleasure to stay in the automotive community. Before the beginning of full-scale invasion, we have an ambitious goal to attract to Lviv a giant automotive manufacturer. We wanted to have a company here which would produce cars, vehicles here. We have seen that gap in the map of Ukraine. In other countries, there are many car makers. In Ukraine, we have very little of them. So we had that goal. Unfortunately, during the fall scale war, we have paused this ambitious goal. But I am happy to stay here with you to hear your panels. Whether can we attract investors? Only you can give answer to this question. Your successful cases. You continue to work during full-scale war, and you do it successfully. It will be one of the arguments why investors have come here and why it is possible to come here and to invest here into Ukraine. I will show you the strategic advantages of Lviv a little bit. How are we trying to attract investors to Lviv? What do we have here, and what are cases of success of investors even during the full-scale war? First of all, it is our location. We are found very close to the market of European Union, and we are sure that later on the western region will develop, take into account foreign investments. The distance to the border is just 60 kilometers. As you can see on the map, Warsaw is closer to Lviv than Kiev, and Berlin is closer to Lviv than Kharkov. So we are much closer to Europe than it may seem to the Europeans. We are the largest city in the west of Ukraine, and it goes first of all about the workforce would be found here. We have a rather talented cadre, over 100,000 students are there in our city. It goes about young talents for investors. During the war, we are one of the largest hubs for rehabilitation and medical treatment. This photo shows the rehabilitation center in Lviv, and that's a component of the whole system is our city on the military map of Ukraine and our role every for Ukrainians. And also Lviv is a new economic center of the country. We do believe that further on, exactly Lviv will be the main center. Most of the investments will come to the West Ukrainian, and Lviv is the center of this region. And the development of logistical and industrial facilities, which happen even during the full-scale invasion, is a confirmation of this fact. And also this year, we are we are youth capital of Europe. We won this title in 22. Now the key industries which are developing in our city during the full-scale invasion, it is a medtech. There is a demand for this. This industry is growing. In 2024, we opened the center for artisan and prosthesin, we do install the prosthesis. And there is a Ukrainian startup expert Bionics. They do produce a certain type of prosthesis. And next industry is a Miltech, which is also growing during file scale innovation. Nothing should be explained to everybody. We understand it. Just to pay attention to, we Iron Lviv Tech Cluster is functioning here, and there are over 90 Miltech manufacturers. This cluster was created, supported by the city council. It may be your contact point to go to this industry if you are interested, or you look for partners there. IT technology. Lviv was always strong in IT. Not to talk a lot about it, you know about it, but the city IT center cluster also unites these communities. There are many IT companies of Lviv working on a large automotive companies of the world and Europe, the German companies. And this is our strong part, which helps to attract companies here that you can find here some workers from IT sector which and they already do which can develop software and they already do it for foreign companies and the automotive practically. It is our strategic branch we want to be developed in our city. And the community helps. The community already exists in our city and in the region. The key investors you can see in this slide: Electron, Fudzikura, CVG, Bosch, LEONI, Nexon, Spider, Time and Space, and many others. They are successfully functioning in our region, and their work is one of the key arguments for investors why it is worth to come here. Also, we pay great attention to industrial projects. First of all, industrial parks. We have 3 industrial parks officially registered. 2 of them are actively working and functioning. This Formatia M10 Sparrow Park unfortunately suspended its activity due to the known tragic events. Also, we are developing a new industrial zone now in Lviv, in the area of Plastovo Street, about 139 hectares of new territories of industrial purpose. When we came back from Warsaw rebuild of Ukraine, we signed an MOU with American company White Star. And this year on ERC, they announced an industrial park project in Bucha, and now they are considering Lviv. We are working with them. We have an MOU, and they are considering this industrial area. That's an example when the American developer having projects in Warsaw is coming to Lviv. Infrastructure projects also could be interesting. Here, the focus of our city is what plans has the city for the future. First of all, medical area. We have a project of construction of new surgery center on Kalishuk Street near the main hospital of medical aid. We want to build up a center for elderly people. Geriatric center is an example of modern infrastructure. Not to be shy about the project and the quality of the services to be provided there. Also, we have planned to build up a diagnostic center. Next is transportation. We have a plan to extend the tramline to Unbroken. On Mikhailchuk Street, we have already attracted the French Agency of Development and 5 million euro for the first stage to expand the road near the hospital to increase the number of lines there. And also, for sure, you have heard about the event of rail corridor. Lviv is the main center where all the 4 lines, railway lines, will come. Last week, it was announced on the beginning of the building from Mostiska to Skniliv station. Skniliv will be the second, where the second Euro gauge will be. The second one, the first one was from the border of Hungary, announced a few months ago. All the 4 corridors will converge in Lviv. That will be the first hub for Ukraine. And the next area is energy. projects. It is explainable. The city tries to remain sustainable and resilient. And this is the map I mentioned, all those four corridors in Lviv. And it goes about the opportunities for foreign investors. And now talking about the success stories. Do foreign investors invest in Lviv? Do the local investor invest in Lviv? Few examples. This is a key investor during the full-scale invasion. Irish company Kingspan. This is a new investment. They had no production. They had just sales office in Ukraine. In 22, they entered and announced on the investment, and they have searched for a long time for a land plot, and finally they chosen Lviv, a place near the circumferential road. And this year, preparatory works have begun to build up the technological campus, which will produce building materials. German company Kreisel also this year officially launched their plant on production of construction mixtures. And we do see that the market of building materials is growing. Everybody is preparing for post-war recovery and reconstruction. This is one of the directions to focus to attract foreign investors. Power, another area, is very interesting, especially alternative energy power sources. Everybody is diversifying their sources now. And we see even when large investment groups such as NOR or OCO do invest into alternative energy. And this is an example of eco-optima Ukrainian investor together with MND this year, last year in September. They have launched 60 megawatts station wind park in Norway for 65 million euro of investment. Last year, an industrial park M10 was officially launched as an investment of company Dragon Capital. Philip Morris last year relocated partially. They had a plant in Kharkov, but they haven't left from the market. They might do it, but they just moved the equipment and opened the tobacco factory in Lviv. It's one of the largest taxpayer in Ukraine. The investment was 30 million euro. We are now not selecting foreign investment, accept everything. And there is no queue of investors, and we are trying to support everybody. Altera Group in 22 launched the logistical center Port Lviv, which is an benchmark infrastructure. Due to the demand they had, and they have rented out all of their premises of the first unit. They launched the second series, the second part of this project in 2024. You see it on the background of this photo. It is a wartime investment, and basically not the industrial investor, but more the service hotel operator, French one, opened a hotel in Lviv, Tulip Residence Lviv, the first hotel, French hotel operator in Lviv. In our opinion, these foreign investors, and the success stories do better confirm the possibility to invest, and that there is a significant potential. And all the investors do confirm this. You confirm it with your stories. It is a pleasure to hear the panelists of the foreign companies talking about that their projects remain active. By the way, during the last forum, we also heard very inspiring stories from LEONI, which also shows their successes. I also know from the visits to other automotive companies, foreign companies, which continue to work, and they also say that in their group they show maybe the best results compared to other companies of the group. And it's a wonderful example of resilience. Management, I thank to you, I thank to Olga, who gathered us all here in such a cozy atmosphere, because exactly from the community depends how this branch will develop. So it's wonderful. Olga is united, bringing us all together in automotive cluster. It's wonderful. It functions, and wonderful. It's happens in Lviv city every year. Thank you for invitation, and wish all the best to you. Thank you.